The Great Awakening was not just a spiritual revival. It was a political, sociological, philosophical awakening of the colonies that would lead to independent thinking that influenced an entire generation, prepping them for the American Revolution and the Declaration of Independence and the start of the United States of America. John and Charles Wesley brothers, they are at Oxford University, and Charles Wesley felt a strong desire to start a club, to get together to pray, to really do what they could for the Lord. George Whitefield is at Oxford. He's studying for the ministry, and he hears about the Holy Club actually through other students making fun of these Methodists, as they would call them. That actually drew him to them. In the meantime, while the Holy Club was being established, a revival breaks out in the colonies in Northampton, Massachusetts, at the church of Jonathan Edwards. This revival breaks out among the young people. Whitefield comes to the southernmost part of the colonies. The revival is up in the Northeast, and it's setting the stage for it really to sweep across all of the colonies. So George Whitefield comes to Georgia. At first, the established churches were okay with him coming and preaching in the churches, but they didn't really like his enthusiasm. He was too emotional. He was too passionate. Nobody had seen anybody preach like this. The churches were really dry. The preaching was kind of dead. In fact, that got George Whitefield in a lot of trouble with the preachers because he called on them to be saved as well. And one of his famous quotes is that the reason the church is dead is that dead men are preaching. And so he got turned out from the churches. And he has a friend. This friend encourages him, why don't you just preach outside? So he got up on top of a barrel and he preached. And when the men were leaving from their work, he would get them to stop and preach to them about Christ, the new birth. And it just really blossomed from there. So before Benjamin Franklin and George Whitefield ever meet, Ben Franklin has heard about him and kind of has an interest in Whitefield because Whitefield is a rebel against the established church, and Franklin really didn't like the established church, so that kind of drew him to it as well. But they became great friends, and so between the two of them, with Whitefield uniting the colonists in that they would come and hear him preach, and Franklin helping with that unity by publishing and printing everything, they became a force that helped unite the colonies and establish this pathway to revolution. George Whitefield, he was preaching this new birth, and this was, again, a new idea for a lot of people. Every person had to, not only could they and should they, but they had to come to Christ on their own. And so that led to people thinking about, I don't have to have the established church. I don't have to have somebody that does that for me. They're also going to hear terms about freedom and liberty. And liberty and freedom are going to be connected with faith. If you have faith in Christ, then you are set free. Through the Great Awakening, through George Whitefield's preaching, they're no longer thinking of themselves as just subjects of England, subjects of the King. No, we are independent, and not only spiritually, but then also politically. Then we can think for ourselves. We can make our own laws. We can decide what's best for us. All of that had its origin in the Great Awakening. So we see this culmination of decades of the founding fathers hearing about the new birth, hearing about independence and freedom. And we see everything that took place with England and with taxation without representation. And so it all comes to a head in the summer of 1776, where 56 men have gathered together, and we see the signing of the Declaration of Independence. But prior to that, decades before this great awakening really laid the groundwork, and it all culminates into that day, July 4th, 1776, when we became the United States of America.